picked up the endorsement of New York City Mayor. I call him Comrade Bill de Blasio. I'm not going to say it when he's not here, and not say it to him. He's sitting right here. Anyway, he joins us live tonight to discuss the Sanders campaign, de Blasio's predecessor, Mayor Mike Bloomberg, and the state of the Democratic Party. You know, I will say this. You spent a lot of time with us the last time, and people did say that at least he had the guts to come on. Good for you, and I mean that. Let me start with Bloomberg. I want to play for these comments. I know you're against stop and frisk. Yep. Okay. I would argue higher concentration of crime, more police resources. It's about people. But that's not how he defined it. Let's play his own words.
95% of the murders and murderers and murder victims is one MO. You can just take the description, Xerox it, and pass it out to all the cops. They are male, minorities, 15 to 25. That's true in New York. It's true in virtually every city. And that's where the real crime is. It's about the unintended consequences is people say, oh my God, you are arresting kids for marijuana. They're all minorities. Yes, that's true. Why? Because we put all the cops in minority neighborhoods. Yes, that's true. Why do we do it? Because that's where all the crime is. And the way you get the guns out of the kids' hands is to throw them against the wall and frisk them.
You followed him. Mayor of New York. Is that racist to you?
Oh, sure. Sean, look, thank you for playing that for your millions of viewers, because now more people are going to get to see who Mike Bloomberg really is. That policy divided police and community.
I don't even think it's the policy. If there's a higher concentration of crime in this part of town, you put more police resources. He's saying all crime, only minorities, only arresting minorities.
Yeah, but
because that's where all the crime is. That's not true.
He's totally out of touch with the people of his own city when he says that. It's derogatory. It's unfair. It's not truthful. But on top of that, what happened? It made it harder for police and community to communicate and be on the same page. It created tons of pain for parents, grandparents trying to bring up their kids the right way. Look, if you were stopped, you're a law-abiding guy your whole life. You're a young person. You're stopped. You're frisked over and over and over again.
No, he said throw them up against the wall.
Imagine what that does to someone.
It's called police brutality.
Well, look, what it does is it takes away any sense of self-esteem, self-confidence. So here's what happened. People came to him, clergy, elected officials. People said, please, this isn't working. It's hurting us. He disdained them. He dismissed
Michael
them.
Goodwin said a 700% increase in stop and frisk, which is the opposite of what he said last night. Let me play this comment now.
Wait, there's one coda. Yeah. So we ended that policy. And for 6 years in a row, crime has gone down. Relationships between police and community got better. We added 2,000 officers on patrol.
You need to protect our cops better. I'd get every one of those videos. You need to arrest every one of those people.
And we do.
Did you get them all?
We've gotten pretty much all of them, seriously. But listen to the punchline. He said, Bloomberg said, oh, if you don't do stop and frisk, you won't be safe. We got rid of it. We got safer. The NYPD's done an extraordinary job and is now able to have that respectful, positive relationship with the community.
Let me play. Now, everyone has a health care plan. You know, Bloomberg has his own plan. Basically, a death pen. You've outlived your usefulness, your expected age you're going to live to, life expectancy. Go home and die. That's his policy. Listen to this.
At the rate we're going, healthcare is going to bankrupt us. So not only do we have a problem, it's going to bankrupt us. And we've got to sit here and say which things we're going to do and which things we're not. Nobody wants to do that. You know, you show up with prostate cancer and you're 95 years old. We should say, go and enjoy, have an ice cream, live a long life. There's no cure. And you can't do anything. If you're a young person, we should do something about it. Society's not willing to do that yet.
Go home and die?
Sean, that's what we call bedside manner right there.
Oh, jeez.
No, but look at this. And you saw it in the two debates. This guy has no common touch, no connection to people. Look, one of the things you and I have talked about, you've got millions of viewers who are working Americans, everyday people. And I'm here with you because I want to talk to them, too. We should all be talking to each other. But when you watch Michael Bloomberg on that debate stage, he's got no clue what everyday people are going through. He doesn't care to know when he was mayor here. If you tried to talk about what's happening in the neighborhood, what was happening to everyday people, all he could think about was that elite he comes from. And it comes through here. How do you talk about health care? We've got lots of people, tens of millions of people who need health care. How do we work together to get it to them the right way? Not, how do we plan your funeral?
That was shocking to me. But what's interesting about this, and the reason I'm asking you first about him, is you're not supporting him. You're supporting Bernie Sanders. I will say this about Sanders, and over the years, you need to tell him to come back on the show. He's stucking me. But at least he believes this crap. I mean, he is sincere. This guy supported stop and frisk for 12 years, 7 years when you were mayor, and then says, oh, I'm running for president. African Americans may not like this, and starts with the crocodile tears. You agree that's phony?
100%. If he were not running for president right now, we still wouldn't have that apology.
Exactly.
But what you said about Bernie Sanders is right. And working people get this about Bernie. It's very important. You could disagree with him, but you don't doubt that what he is saying is the truth. You know a lot of politicians, Sean.
I do.
And most politicians, bluntly, you have to wonder if you're getting the real thing from them.
What about his praise of Venezuela?
Hold on,
I'm giving you a lot of time. What about his praise of Venezuela, Cuba?
He doesn't.
Who honeymoons in the former Soviet Union? Would you ever? They killed millions in the former Soviet Union.
Cold War.
Oh, no.
Cold War.
That's when he was there.
Come on.
He was there.
You know when he was there?
A nation that killed millions.
You actually make a great point. The week he was there, you know who else was there? Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, but he was actually telling them to, among other things, that they better change.
It was 30
trust but verify.
years ago.
Ease through strength.
And what actually everyday Americans are looking for, they don't want to talk about the Cold War. They want to talk about how are we going to get people health insurance, how are we going to make sure that people have a decent job and decent wages, how are we going to make sure the middle class survives, and how are we going to deal with climate change. All things where Americans...
You want to get rid of... Bernie wants to get rid of oil and gas. How do we survive? It's the lifeblood of the world's economy.
Sean, and we talked about this before, but let me just make the point. Bernie Sanders believes in what he's talking about.
I agree with that.
He gives you an incredibly clear picture of where he wants to go. By the way, that is what great leaders do. I think you have a feeling for Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan, you actually knew where he wanted to go. You know it with Bernie Sanders. He is about working people. The elites are not about working people. He is.
Here's the problem. He's going to tax people by his own admission that make $29,000 or more. They're going to get slapped with a 4% tax increase to pay for Medicare for all. He's going to high-income earners. They're going to see a top federal rate of 52%, a hike of 15%. Capital gains he's going to raise. He wants a wealth tax. The death tax, 77%. Okay, New York gets another, 10%. I think your city gets 3%. The federal government, that means you tax people, they pay their taxes, then you take another bite at the apple with the wealth tax if you were dumb enough to save money, and then when you die, you got to give 90% of your wealth? Don't you think that's legalizing stealing?
No. You know what I think?
You should have all that money.
You know what I
We should just hand it over to you.
You know what I think unites Republicans, Democrats, Independents? Two things. One, too much money in politics. They all like to see the big money out of politics. Two, they all think the wealthy are not paying their fair share in taxes. No one doubts that Bernie Sanders is going to work to make it a more fair.
You got to give me a straight answer. How much of every dollar, after you pay state, local, federal, sales, property taxes, should everybody be allowed to keep? Anybody. Look, no.
And the bottom line, I'm not going to do a single number. The bottom line is
Why not?
The bottom line is this. Folks who for decades, very wealthy people.
You're not answering. How much should people be
people
They're earning it. How did they get that?
Who got that way in large measure because of government policies that help them. It's time for people to pay
How
their
much
fair
should
share.
every American, regardless of how much you have, can I keep 40 cents of every dollar?
Most Republicans think the wealthy are not paying their fair share in taxes, and this is
why.
why.
You want to legalize stealing, and you want to confiscate it, and then you want to give it away so you build your power.
I got a prediction for you.
What?
A lot of your viewers have a choice between Biden, Bloomberg, Bernie Sanders. A lot of your viewers who are Democrats, a lot of your viewers are labor union members. They're going with Bernie Sanders.
And Trump's going to win.
And Bernie Sanders is going to win. We agree. Bernie Sanders is going to win.
We can now project Donald J. Trump reelected the 45th president of the United States.
We'll invite you to Bernie's inauguration.
Oh, I can hardly. Oh,
okay.
Great. I'm
I
sure
think
he
you
wants
should
me
be
there. You won't even come on. Tell him to come on my show, will you?
Happily.
You're going to tell him?
Of course.
All right. Thank you. Good to thank you for